Yes. Hello and welcome to yet another edition of...
Mbona unameza chai kwanza? Unaharibu.
Chai ni tamu.
Unaharibu.
Chai ni tamu, my friend.
Endelea na introduction.
How are you, bro?
I'm good, bana.
Uko salama?
Niko fiti.
Leo umevaa pink, man.
I'm feeling sweet today.
You're feeling sweet. Si mama inakusumbua.
Hapana. Mimi niko tu sawa.
Uko tu sawa?
Adidas is bae.
Adidas is bae. I can see. Chini tu ndio
3 stripes mse. 3 stripes.
Chini tu ndio kiatu leo
Leo niliamua kuvaa polo. Ile kiatu yangu ya Adidas nilitaka kuvaa nikapata. Si safi na niko na uzembe ya kufua so. Ama ya kuosha.
Welcome, you're live from S03E16 Guest House. The reason why Simon and enjoy ni juu, you know, chai ni tamu, man. Hapa S03E Guest House. Tamu siko tu, hakuna mahali itasonga. Leo hata producer atakaa hivyo. Atakunywa chai baadaye.
Vikombe ziko pale. Must take tea.
Atakunywa chai baadaye. Kama atapata, that is. Anyway,
how was your week?
Good. Had a good week, though. On Thursday, was it Thursday or Wednesday? Wednesday.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine lost the husband.
Sorry.
The tragic road accident that happened somewhere in Nakuru Highway. I can't exactly remember, but it was an O3 accident. She's gone through a lot. She's lost a kid, a son, barely 3 years. It's barely 3 years since they buried the child. The husband has been sick. He was in hospital at the beginning of this year and even came out and he was really strong and good and doing fine. And now this was just too devastating. I haven't even called her, even don't know what to say because it's such a difficult period. But we just, you know, pray for them, pray for her and her family. But apart from that, it's been a good week. You know, especially knowing that hockey is slowly coming back.
Yeah, there is some hope.
Yeah.
There is some hope. There is some hope. On behalf of THR, of course, Hockey KE and myself, I send our deepest condolences to your friend.
Yes.
Now, to matters hockey, it's looking like there is some hope.
Yes.
There is a light towards the end of the tunnel.
And I know we are going to talk about you know what is happening in Kenya. Maybe we can just give a preview of what's... Today we're talking about, you know, hockey resumption because, I mean, indications are that in Kenya it's going to... The wheel has started moving. We don't know if it's the clubs or the union which is pushing this. But we are going to discuss that. We have what is happening across in Uganda, who had just stopped their league, but they have resumed. This week they released a fixture of... the remainder of the year and what plans they have. Quite an elaborate, and we are going to go live to Uganda and speak to one of the officials of Uganda Hockey Association. And then we also have some World Africa hockey news which is happening. And even in Ghana, there's something that is starting even today that we are going to talk about. So quite a comprehensive show that we have lined up for you. Remember, if you'd like to get in touch with us for any comment or question, just let us know on our messages, or rather comment on the live links, either on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever you're listening, watching us from. You haven't told me how your week was, by the way.
It's been good. Nimekata weight, by the way, by a kg. So
No wonder it's not visible.
a kg is big, my friend. A kg is big. But it's been a good week. I'm happy. I haven't had so much trouble. Of course, you know where I work. Narudi kazi.
Yes.
So we've been busy settling in and all that. And of course, sorting out a few things here and there for our show. I'm sure our fans wanaona there is a different setup today.
A very small difference.
They're different. Big.
But very major.
Major difference. So we've been working through things and of course up and about, talking to hockey people and as we say, And before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Tristan Karis and Dosi who are watching. Dosi anasema Machakos is watching and waiting to host you.
Tunangoja kuja Machakos. Tuambie ni lini. Tutakuja
Hatuwe invite.
Dosi sasa unajua yeye ni dada yetu mkubwa.
Sasa itabidi tuende tu.
Tuende. So labda Friday tunaweza kuja. Tuambie tu ni siku gani nataka tuterebuke. Tutakama.
Thomas Musheni anauliza kama amechelewa. Hujachelewa? Chai bado iko. Karibu sana. Ndio tumeanza.
Labda tu ni sukari anataka kukula.
Huyu kwanza story zake ni mzuri sana. Tunafaa tumuite kwa show.
Yes. Anyway, let's start with hockey in Kenya. And we have a clip which our producer is going to play to get the comments of, the resumption of hockey. And you were at City Park the other day.
Yeah, last weekend, yeah.
And we saw Wazalendo, which I think is the first club, we can say. Officially, who have taken a PCR test.
Yeah.
Does this mean that hockey is now resuming?
Yes and no. Yes, in terms of, there is communication that was sent out to clubs, to team managers, from KHU via the Secretary General. Indicating and reiterating the government's stance on any sports resumption or league resumption, that there must be vaccinations and PCR tests. The email indicates that the PCR test must be done, and they have identified several places and clinics that clubs can go to have their tests done, as well as clubs can organize with the Kenya Hockey Union to have the tests done for them, but that was not indicated in that communication. Yeah. So Wazalendo are the first ones to approach Kenya Hockey Union for two reasons. Reason number one is they are preparing for the African Club Championship. We'll talk about it much later in the show. Yeah. So for them to use the facility to train, they must have the tests done and the threshold met. Okay. So the threshold is the number of positive cases in the team. Okay. So if there are many, then they won't be allowed to train in the pitch. Okay. On the pitch rather. Yeah. If there are few, then they will be allowed. Okay. In case there is a positive case, then the protocol, there is a protocol, there is a whole protocol to what needs to be done. Okay. There is isolation, there is treatment in case it's severe and all that. So reason number one, as I've said, is as Zalendo are preparing for the African Club Champions. Reason number two is they are pushing so that the league can resume. Okay. Now the question now comes in, and I've spoken to a number of clubs. Yeah. Is are they the ones pushing Kenya Hockey Union to have the tests done so that the league resumes, or is Kenya Hockey Union the one
which is pushing?
Yeah, what do you think? Because I'm sure you've had a few conversations also with
I've also had conversations with team managers, a couple of them, and it is a very dicey issue, because for me, I think the ones I've talked to, it's been 50-50 kind of thing, because you hear some say, we are very hesitant because it's very costly to do this thing, because now one of the rules is that you have to do it after every 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And 72 hours within the competition. Yes. So for example, if you are playing on a Saturday, the tests
have to be done on a Thursday.
On a Thursday or Friday, so that it's valid within that 72 hours you're going to play.
And the PCR takes 24 hours.
24 hours to get the results.
So technically, up to. So technically you have to do it
on a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
Yeah. So for you to play on Saturday.
On Saturday. So that it comes out on Friday, so that you know the players who are playing. And the biggest argument is you have, and now you've even mentioned it, if majority of the players are affected, then that means all those people are not playing. They have to get into a quarantine or something.
On something,
what are the rules of play in this sense? And this is a question that I've even asked myself, what number of people are going to be, is being allowed by a team? Is a team going to, look at, or rather, if you have, let's say, I
A
think
squad of 32.
a squad of 32.
How many are we going
How
to
going
test?
are you going to test? Number one, and please consider there is also availability of the different players.
And note, we are not only, with this testing, we are not talking about players only.
Yeah.
It's players and officials.
And officials, yes.
And that's the club.
Yeah.
Also note on the side of the union, the umpires also and the judges
Have to be.
have to get tested.
Yeah. Yeah.
So logistically understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So those are some of the concerns that clubs have, that we are at this point, and it's not a cheap fit. It's not a cheap competition that you're getting into. I was speaking to Mike Kwambo about a week or two ago. Yes. And he was saying that for them, what has been easier to sustain the league that way is because the government has come up and shouldered part of the burden. Yeah, such that the officials, the match officials, and the technical team. Am I saying the same thing anyway? Them and even the players, the rate has been subsidized, because I think for them they're paying about 1,000 bob for the different clubs, which makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
It is expensive, yes,
But it's cheaper than...
it's cheaper than
Because in the communique, I think I saw a costing of 2,000 per test.
Yeah.
So if you have a squad of, let's say, 18 players,
Yeah.
because most of the time we register 18 players to play a game.
Yeah.
So if you do 18 players, let's say you have the team doctor, the coach, the TM,
Yeah.
those are 21, give or take,
Yeah.
times 2,000.
Yeah.
That's 42,000
42,000
per
per
test.
test. And you're
Per
supposed to
group
do
test.
it every 2
2
weeks.
weeks. So it's expensive.
It's very expensive.
It's expensive. At the same time,
Who is going to shoulder this? Those are some of the questions.
of course, it's the club,
Yeah.
because we all know at the moment, unfortunately, our union is not at a point where they can say they can pull in revenue and shelf or shoulder some of the expense, and unless now they go out to the government and tell them, hey,
Serikali haina pesa.
of course haina pesa, pesa walitumia kufanyia BBI, hiyo ni siasa anyway. But I had a conversation with one of the guys at is it called KEF, Kenya Basketball, KB, is it KBF?
KBF, yeah.
Yeah. He told me that what they are doing, there's a government facility at Kasarani where they get tested, and it's for free.
Okay.
How true it is, I need to confirm. Because if that's the case, then we can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
If anyway the sports ministry and the government have set up a facility at Kasa where the players get tested, because they told me they go there, get tested. Of course, the clubs, they have to pay something, but in the real sense, it's like almost free.
Almost free.
But they go as a club.
Yeah.
So if they have a match, let's say today, they go, let's say on a Thursday.
Yeah.
As a club,
Yeah.
they are tested, they go out.
Yeah.
So he was to send me the number for the guy who's running the program.
Program, yeah.
So unfortunately, I didn't get the contact. I wanted to find out more about it, because if that's the case, then you can use the same facility as hockey players, go there as a club, get tested, ready for the league.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as we now go to listen to the
Watch
president,
the
the
president,
president
yeah.
said,
Yeah.
at the same time, I think the push needs to come from both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, the KHU need to push the clubs. At the same time, the clubs need to push
The union.
the union and say, what are the timelines?
Yeah.
If we decide to do the PCR tests and
Yeah.
vaccinations,
Yeah.
give us a timeline. For example, we state you need to start the league by October.
Yeah.
So you guys have 7 weeks,
Yeah.
the next 7 weeks,
Yeah.
to sort it out.
And please note, there is national team training. Yeah.
Of which it can't be affected, because for the league to resume, it's only the Premier Leagues
Yeah.
that will resume.
Yeah.
They are not, unless Super League, I think of late there was a loosening of the rules.
Yeah.
They will allow Super Leagues.
Yeah.
But of course, they have to follow the protocols.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
The-
anyway,
What is out there is out there. Let's
listen to what the president had to say.
This is in line with the ministry protocols. If we want to go back and play hockey, we have to ensure that all the teams go through this exercise. This is in line with the ministry protocols. If we want to go back and play hockey, we have to ensure that all the teams go through this exercise. I can confidently say that Wazalendo Hockey Club is the first team to come as a club. They have approached Kenya Hockey Union to organize this exercise for them, and we've done so this afternoon. It doesn't matter where you are in the Republic, you can organize for your test in your local locality. And if they want to play hockey in their counties, also they have to observe the protocols put in place by the county authorities as well. So it is the ministry and the county authorities. We work hand in glove. In case you hold tournaments, it's much easier because then most tournaments are played within 10 days, between 10 days and 2 weeks. And that's the requirement, because the requirement is the ministry wants us to take a test every 14 days. So there is no way you're going to have any tournament without partaking this test.
Yeah, so there it is. That is what is going on. But in Uganda, they have already done.
Yeah.
Was
it during the week? Wednesday, Thursday, yesterday?
Yesterday
there are some images we got yesterday.
Got from Uganda about
mass testing.
Remember, their league resumes today, their national league. Even for them, they have strained it. But let's head over to Uganda and just, talk to the head of publicity. His name is Saddam Hussein. Just to get to hear what is happening on that side and how that preparation is going on. Because it will really be good. Saddam, how are you?
I'm fine, boss.
Thank you very much for joining us. This is George Njuguna from the Hockey Republic.
Yes.
We are glad that you've been able to join us today. We know the league in Uganda resumes today. Tell us.
Yes, I've already started.
Okay, they have already started.
Yes.
Okay. Let's before we go to today's games, I want you to give us a brief on how the preparations were in terms of preparing for the league resumption. Remember, you guys had a third wave which halted the league for about a month or so. And then what were the preparations that you made to just resume and be fully back?
Yeah, first we had to advocate for vaccination, and we spoke to the liaison officers, the medical officers for different clubs, to coordinate with the Uganda Hockey Association Medical Committee. In principle, we got some sites, different medical centers, lined up the players, and they got vaccinated. However, we were able to have the first dose in place, but the second was a bit tight because of the procurement process in Uganda. Then, after that, we had to make sure we did, by example, all the WHO
Okay.
After that, we started doing routine testing.
Okay.
Because by the time we had closed off, it happens that we had two who had got
Okay.
and that was from Weatherhead, historical.
Okay.
The player was called Guadana's Yuko.
Okay.
So in order to support them, we had to do that.
Okay.
But on Wednesday, we were able to run PCR tests for all players who were eligible to play.
Okay.
And the medical committee were also part. We did it successfully. We shared the results with the National Council of Sports. And they were okay with what we have done. However, even next week, we shall do the same.
Okay.
The fact that we are not in a camp, there are different interactions before next weekend game. So we'll again do the same.
Okay. So every team that is playing next week, they have to do at least 3 days before.
2 days, 3 days, 2 days, 3 days.
Okay.
PCR, not even a rapid test.
Okay, the PCR,
test. Okay.
The fact that it takes sometimes 48, 48 hours, so we do 3 days. By the time the results are out,
Okay.
we are good to go.
Okay, good. Tell us, let us talk to, what are some of the games that we are expecting to see today? And you've just mentioned that one has kicked off already. Which one is that, even as you tell us the other games in summer?
The first game is will be Kampala.
Okay.
No, it is we have two Weatherhead, yeah?
Okay.
Let me do a quick one.
No problem. You can consult your fixture.
It is we have Wananchi against Weatherhead Historicals.
Okay.
And then we shall in the later day we shall have Makerere against Weatherhead.
Okay.
There were changes in the fixtures.
Okay.
Because we were trying to wind up the league
Okay.
to have more time for the national team to train.
Okay. Okay.
So make some bit of change.
Okay. And just to wind up, what are some of the plans are you making for, because I know your national teams are preparing for the African Cup of Nations. How is that one going? Are they on residential camp or non-residential?
For now,
Yes.
we were able to invite suitable candidates to express their interest in the different positions. The team manager, men and women, head coach, men and women, goalkeeping coach, team doctor, and physiotherapist. And the technical committee is still waiting there. But in a fortnight, we will have a team in place.
Okay.
And we shall have, for starters, a non-residential, then we start a residential.
Good.
But we had the applicants were quite many, regional and international. We had a few from Europe, Kenya, and also locally in Uganda.
Okay. Thank you so much, Saddam, for your time. I know we'll be talking very, very soon.
Yep.
Even as you let us know what is going on in Uganda. And please pass our greetings from here in Kenya. You know, you beat our men, so we are still bitter about it.
We want to keep the energy levels high, and we are really glad to work with Kenya. We, as the East African community, we shall make sure hockey is at the top in Africa moving forward.
Thank you.
Like it is in rugby. We want East Africa to be the climate, the epitome of hockey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, and that is Saddam Hussein, the head of publicity
Yes.
in Uganda. If we can compare it here in Kenya, We even don't know who it is.
I think having listened to that, I think it's not. I think it's apparent.
Yeah.
It's more to do with planning and logistics.
Yes.
For them to do it, you've heard what they've said. They had to partner with the government and the Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
There are some comments that are coming in. We have Thomas who's saying that KHU want guys to do PCR tests, which is okay. My question is, was Alendo did their tests the other day? Will it still be relevant a month or whenever the league resumes? I think I mentioned and said
it's every 2 weeks.
There are two reasons why was Alendo did the tests.
Yeah.
The first and major reason is that they can be allowed to use the pitch. Based on the information I got, they can be allowed to use the pitch for their training sessions as they prepare for club championships, as well as initiate and also like try to push other clubs to join them so that the league can resume. Because if the league resumes, they will be ready for the club champs because they'll have more teams to play against.
Okay.
And then he continues to say, Thomas, that is, considering the number of self-sponsored clubs, is this economically viable? Kenya Rugby has catered for its cost, and thus rugby resumed ages ago and even played international matches. I think one thing we are at danger of doing is comparing Kenyan hockey to rugby.
Yeah.
There is a whole, I can say, universe between us. Because you look at Kenya Rugby, you also cover Kenya Rugby, and we were with Kwambo here. Number one, Kenyan rugby clubs have sponsors. And Kenyan rugby clubs can pull in sponsors, and they've been doing so for years. At the same time, Kenya Rugby Union have placed themselves as one of the sports darlings in the country. Karibu sana.
I'm very sorry.
No, it's okay.
problem.
I'm very, very sorry.
It's fine.
See, we don't just talk about things, eh?
Kuna mandazi hapa.
Mandazi ndio hii nimeleta ikiwa moto. Moto kabisa.
Yeah, so I was saying, Kenyan rugby has been able to place itself as one of the darlings in Kenyan sport. How they did it, it's a whole topic of discussion. So we are at danger of comparing ourselves with rugby or athletics or football. Reason being, we barely and for very many years get government support. At the same time, our clubs barely can get good sponsors.
I mean, when you talk about sponsorship at the moment, we can only speak of one club. Leave universities alone.
Yes.
That's a different matter. And how many university teams are in the Premier League? It is only Strathmore?
Strathmore, USIU.
USIU.
So if we try to compare the two and say, oh, why rugby have resumed and you haven't resumed, we are in two different worlds.
I think if I've gotten Thomas clear, Thomas is coming from with the background, and he can tell me if I'm wrong, that these clubs are already self-catered for.
Yes.
But for me, I'm going to, and the reason why we connected this story to Uganda is because I'm sure Uganda and us are at the same place.
Yes.
I mean, we've gone to Uganda for championships, and we know most of these clubs are self-sponsored clubs, and they're coming. But, and this is, I think, to me, a challenge to the union. I think we can do more to help, the clubs, resume the Premier League by doing what Uganda is doing. Because if what Saddam is saying, they have worked closely with the government.
Let me tell you, let me now take a shovel and dig through something. Because, and I'll be honest here, and I'll be completely honest, most of the clubs, they work against the union. Because that communication, if I'm not wrong, was sent in July, if I stand to be corrected. I think either late June or early July. Okay? Some of the clubs I've spoken to, they are not even aware that there is communication regarding PCR tests. The key difference between us and Uganda is the clubs and their union and the government are working as one organism. Let's come to our country. and I'm being honest here.
Yeah.
Whenever something is posted regarding hockey, is it a divisive factor or is it a unifying factor?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look at this. KHU is saying we need to do PCR tests, plain and simple. But instead of now trying to work through how it can be done,
the
we are like
logistics of
pointing
it.
fingers. We hao watu hawana pesa, hii club unajua ni self sponsor haina pesa, wewe unafanya nini utusaidie? You see, instead of now saying, hey, can our TMs and the union sit down and say, can we now approach the government and say this is our situation?
Yeah.
You see,
How can we help?
how can we help each other?
Yeah,
Because what I feel, we are being left out by even Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria. They work as a single organism. But sisi, whenever anything entails KHU, it is always a divisive factor. Haitawahi atituleta pamoja. Because it's very simple. And this is not something to do with KHU. It is the government stance.
Yeah.
What will KHU do? I mean, Jugusho umeambiwa.
Yeah.
Ndio kula hii mandazi, ni lazima uoshe mkono.
Lazima uoshe mkono.
Sasa utaanza kusema unajua maji ni ngumu kupata, but the government has stated for the league to resume there must be PCR testing. Whether the clubs can afford or not, it is in the interest of public health.
Yeah.
Now it is us clubs and come and say, okay, this is the situation we have.
Yeah.
This is what is required.
Yeah.
This is the situation KHU are in. These are the situations the clubs are in. Now, can we sit down together and say, for the interest of the sport, what can we do to arrest the situation? Because umesikia venye nani amesema Saddam, they had a sit down.
Yeah.
Clubs, the union, and the Ministry of Sports and Health, and then they came up with a solution that involved vaccination and testing.
And it's good. It's
No,
good.
no.
He's not mentioned. No, he actually says
Yes.
all the clubs.
All the clubs
have been vaccinated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you see, they had to sit down as a single unit.
Here we are.
Tuko hapa. This is what we are.
We want
Let's
vaccination.
move.
Yeah.
Aya. Now, see, let's look at this. I remember back in, was it April or March, KHU were able to get a few jabs available for the players, and communication was sent out.
Yeah.
I wish our producer can pull up some of the comments that came out of it. You see, even when they are trying hard to get vaccinations for us, Masi ati natetea KHO or anyone. I'm just saying, let's look at that factor where, when it comes to anything to do with Kenya or Kenya, to do with hockey, it's always a divisive factor. Kama hii story ya PCR test imeleta hivi joto, then how can clubs sit down
And
and discuss the way forward? Because, I mean, if this communication Jugush was sent in July, and action has not been taken by most of the clubs who received communication, then who can we blame?
time will tell. Anyway, let's finish up with the comments because we need to, give updates on what's happening. And we're going to West Africa now.
Yeah. So I want to just give a shout out to Noah who's watching. We have a call from Nanda who's also watching. We have Richard Wanjera. Of course, he was here last weekend. We have Dagi anajitanga Chezadi Nyarangi. He's also watching. And then you have Habad Tumaini who are also watching. Yeah. So we last week got information, or Africa Hockey came up and said.
Before that, let's go to Ghana because they are also resuming slowly, and they have what they're calling Gaha Championship, which basically stands for the Greater Accra Hockey Association, and they have a tournament beginning today, and it's a 4-week tournament which will be played on Saturdays. Beginning today, the 20th of August, all the way to Saturday, the 16th of September. Quite a good 4 weeks of hockey. It again, for them, it's resumption, slow by slow. And it's not just men and women taking part. They have also introduced masters. Which is a really good thing. So it's good to see, hockey resuming slowly across the continent, and I think it's a good thing. Let's move to now
Africa Hockey.
Yes.
Very excited. At least now they announced the venues and dates for the African Championships.
Champions,
I mean championship. I mean the 3 tournaments, because we have
The club
Actually,
championships?
it's 2 African tournaments and one international. One international. By international, I'm saying worldwide.
Yeah.
We have the African Club Championships,
Yes.
which were not played last year. We played this year.
Yeah.
I'm sure the producer is going to pull up the schedule.
Yes.
Then we have the Junior World Cup. Unfortunately for us, we won't participate yet again.
Yes.
And the under 21 so walitrain vizuri. And then now we also have the African Cup of Nations 2022.
Yeah.
Other than the Junior World Cup, I think both the African tournaments will be played in Ghana, and they have laid up a new pitch,
Okay.
the blue one.
Yes. I really love to go and watch that.
Tuanze kusave ndio tuende huko kama event.
Ma tuendange tukifanya tournaments, tukifanya shows on the road.
On the road.
Yes. Tuanze na dosi hapa.
By the way, tukienda hivyo. Yeah, so the African Club Championships, Wazalendo have been preparing. We don't know whether Blazers will be able to
go for it.
Where we haven't, to be honest, I haven't asked about it.
Yeah.
But I think I'll speak to them and then ask. They have been preparing for long, for a very, very long time. So hopefully we can see whether they'll take a team there. Mark alikuwa anatuambia walishachagua team kitambo. Ni dates tu wanangoja.
Dates wanangoja.
Yeah. What do you think? Assuming that the usual clubs go to club champs, the Shakias, akina nani waende, wale wa Uganda wanaitwaje, Police,
you know,
GRA, wakienda, how can Wazalendo perform against those clubs?
If they are well prepared, I think this resumption, and even when the league starts, I think we've had this discussion before, a few teams will be surprised. So I wouldn't be surprised if they perform well. Of course, my expectation is that they win, hopefully, the title. But anything can happen in between here. Because, you know, you never know, God has his way of doing things. So the delay may cause or favor one of the teams. And with seeing what they are doing and putting in, it's good they have even now moved into the turf to start preparing themselves and just train for them for that. Of course, the Nini would be very different. The
surface,
the surface. But I hope that will not really be a deterring factor.
Yeah.
Hopefully that their plans are more elaborate in terms of, you know, when they'll get there, have good time to, you know, acclimatize and be ready for the tournament itself. But let's wait and see. I mean,
and they need our help.
Yeah.
They usually hold, they have a lottery.
Yes.
They hold every 2 weeks.
Yes.
I think we are going to, Mark, is it stage 4 or stage 3? Yeah.
Stage 4.
Stage 4.
Because last week was stage 3. Yes.
Yeah, so you can buy a ticket for 500 Kenya shillings to support the club.
Yeah.
They give, every 2 weeks they do a draw to see who has won the club merchandise like pens, hoodies, capes. The grand prize, sijui kama sasa si to participate sasa vizuri, is a trip.
Terms and conditions. Oh, it's a trip.
It's a trip.
Okay.
To go to the venue and watch them play. Yeah, so you get the tickets and all that. So it's only 500 bob. Find any Wazalendo club player and buy the ticket. And of course, once you buy it, anza prepare passport mapema. Yes. Kuna watu wengine wanadhaningi passport ni photo. Go and get the passport so that ukishinda, who knows? They are going to hold their next draw next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. And they had a golf tournament scheduled for this weekend, but unfortunately it was postponed.
Yeah.
Till
so we
further
keep
notice,
mentioning some time in September.
So it's postponed, but we'll get the confirmed
date.
Yeah. So now going back to the international ones, we have the ACN.
Yeah.
As I said, the national teams are training.
Yeah.
I can confirm that they do train over the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. I think also during the midweeks, but I'm not sure about it.
I think on Wednesday if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
So the training is ongoing, and it's ongoing at City Park, and they are trying to get a few friendlies for the team, so that at least they can start gelling together. But now the problem now comes in terms of the players also need to be protected.
Yeah.
Because you have this COVID-19, the Delta variant, and all that. It's not as simple as just calling a club, or a national team to come in, or the national team going out to get fixtures. We have just spoken about the whole thing about testing, vaccination, and all that. So unfortunately, right now it's a bit difficult for them to invite and get those matches before they go for the tournament. But hopefully there is more time, because the tournament is in January. So between now and let's say December, things might change. We don't know. We don't know if someone will have a eureka moment and come up with a cure. We don't know. But all we are hoping is that they continue to prepare. And the good thing is I saw some young faces joining the team. So it's going to be an exciting squad. Yeah.
We've always said it's an exciting squad.
Don't lose hope, boy. Don't lose hope.
You've just heard what Saddam was saying. I think he was just trying to be a gentleman here.
Tuko sawa. Ni vile tu we just need, I wish tunaweza follow your setup. Like you've had they're even recruiting a goalkeeping coach. We need to do that, and I keep insisting.
But I saw for the ladies the other day when we went to City Park with when he had an interview with Jackie Mwangi, I saw the Butali goalkeeper coach. He was training the Nini, which I think is a really good thing.
Yeah, it is.
I'm optimistic about the squad, but I think we can induce some experience, which I think is what we lack in our squad, to be quite honest. So let us try and call the experienced players back in and just I don't know how they are going to do it because of the history they have had with the powers that be, but we can do something to just gel in with the new blood, with the experience.
My thoughts?
Yeah.
We have a whole group of coaches that went through the Olympic Solidarity Program. And some of the coaches, we can say they've attained level 2 and level 3 knowledge in those sessions. Because those sessions, they were good, they were broken down into different aspects of the game. I remember we had technical and tactical courses, we had goalkeeping courses, we had PC, penalty corner, we call them short corners here. You had all those sessions, and different coaches participated in them. And if you look at most countries, the way they've set up is they have coaches for every aspect of the game. And here I was having a conversation with I think Mark last weekend. I was telling him, Mark and Timo. Timo is a very good friend of mine. Timo, the coach wa Sailors. I was telling him, we have a lot of young talent in terms of coaching, and they don't have that opportunity to express themselves, to share that, to practice it. So I was giving him the idea where we get these coaches in. Of course, they have that data of which coaches performed well in which aspect. Let's say if it's goalkeeping, if it's tactical. They might not necessarily start participating in the national team right now, but you can start preparing them for the future. So, for example, they can get involved in the under-21s training, development centers. KHU have set up development centers. Let's get them in. And then, of course, we have those experienced coaches who also took part in that exercise. They can go straight into the national team. And then, since right now we don't have the cash to pay them, they can work on a volunteer basis. But now KHU, what they do instead is whenever there is a chance, let's say, to go to do a level 3 or a level 4 course, let's say in Ghana, because I'm sure FIH and Africa Hockey will organize, then they can sponsor
The different coaches.
The different coaches. They can say, since you've worked with us and we are preparing you for the next phase of our national setup, we will sponsor you and do level 3 or level 4.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. Or they say, since FIH charge, let's say 10,000 shillings for a level 3 course, we can organize with FIH. We pay for 2 or 3 coaches because we are preparing them for the next phase. Because one thing I can ask you, Njugush, right now, if you look at the transition of coaches, when the likes of Meshak Senge, Kimanzi, Kagochi phase out, who are the next coaches? Because we have the likes of Zakaura now who are coming in.
Yeah.
But
Zach is a level 2 coach.
I think level 3.
Yeah.
But look at that transition.
Yeah.
Because also Zach is among the senior coaches now.
Yeah.
Where is the next transition? Where is the next future of coaching? Which coaches are we going to have in the next 10 years to come in? But you see that for us right now it's difficult because even to get a club that will give
but
you
you
a
are
chance.
involved with what is it called? The academies, right?
Yeah, I'm still waiting to be posted.
Yeah.
I haven't
You're
been
still waiting to
posted.
be
I'm
posted.
busy waiting to be posted.
Oh.
But we need to have a look at that transition.
Yeah.
So right now we might not have the ability to hire all those coaches, but I'm sure that we have 1 or 2, 3 people, even the young ones, who have brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
We have guys who can look at a player and say the technical ability of how they're holding the stick or how they are running is not correct, or the positioning. You know, as a coach, you can't see everything with your own eyes. You need people around you to tell you, let's try this, or we need to correct this.
Yeah.
So that's the main difference between us and Uganda. And if you are not careful, they have already reached our level and they will surpass us.
Yeah.
Because if they have specialized coaching, then
And they're even getting foreigners to come, which
yeah.
I believe they're not just coming to, get them to a certain level. I'm sure part of one of the job descriptions is to, mentor someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to have a look at not only on the national team setup, but also at club level.
Yeah.
Because we have, if you look at that course, there are very many coaches who are also players, and they need to be given a chance at club level.
Yeah.
If someone is good at goalkeeping, give them a chance.
Yeah.
This mentality of a one-man coaching mentality, one-man show, one-man head coach needs to stop. Otherwise, we will continue lagging behind and falling behind.
Yeah. Tazidi kunyoroshwa.
Hata si kunyoroshwa, itafika mahali, and I'm being honest, the sport will die.
Yeah.
Because it will come to a point like right now, if we are honest, most guys who are working, if you ask them to go back and play, they'll tell you what for. And I'm being honest. Tulikuwa na watu Juja. Most guys are saying, why should I ng'ang'ana na jam niende kutrain and there is no league?
Yeah.
So if assuming the league resumes next weekend, how many will come back and play?
Yeah.
So we need to keep those talents within the sport.
Yeah.
Otherwise we'll lose them.
We'll lose them. We end the show now?
Yeah.
And
any comments?
My phone is having issues, so I'm not able to see. But even as Simon gets it, I think one of the things that we need to do is, get yourself to be vaccinated. If you haven't done that, I'm one of those people who lagged behind, let me be honest. And last weekend I got to have my first jab. So let's.
How was it?
It was good. I just had a slight fever.
Wait for the second one.
Yeah. My friend.
Wait for the second one.
I believe I'll be smooth all the way.
But on that note, this is a challenge to clubs. For once, and I'm actually pleading, for once, let's not look at the union in terms of wao watuorganizie vaccination, wao watuorganizie PCR test. Because right now, there are a lot of vaccines that are available, but very few people are going. The TMs and the club management, we need to start pushing. Let the push for the league resumption come from us.
Like what we're seeing from Uganda.
So, for example, kama neo vaccination, there is Kasarani Center, for example. Organize as a club, muende pamoja. So that if we have, let's say, 70 of the clubs vaccinated, then we can now start saying, anyway, there are some moves being made. So as we finish, that's my challenge to the club. Let the push for hockey to resume come from you.
Yeah.
Let your TMs actually nag. Let them be nagging the union to tell them, ay bwana, tunaenda 2 years bila kucheza, we need to do something.
Yeah.
But if the push comes from
The other way.
the other way around,
Yeah.
it is difficult to work. We need to work together. At the same time, I don't think it's the right time for politics. That who does what, the management does what, the leadership does what. That's not the right time. Elections is next year, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Ikifika hiyo time, utaleta hizo comments useme, huyu mtu tumempatia chance, ameshindwa na kazi, it's my time to take over. But right now, the priority is, we have the African club champs that are coming up. We have the ACN, and we have World Cup qualifiers that will come up soon.
Yeah.
So hiyo siasa hizi tusaidia sahi. Hata sahi Njugush tukisema wewe ni mbaya tukutoe kwa show, haitatusaidia. But we need to start making strides ndio hockey irudi. Otherwise tutapiga kelele na nothing. Hakuna mahali tunaenda. So as club managers, as club members, as coaches, can we start now having that push? Kama club yako haija vaccinatiwa, start looking for where vaccines are organized for your club. To go
there are very many places.
There are very many places.
Yeah.
If it's for the PCR tests, there are places that are actually doing for 1,000 bob, for example.
Yeah.
You can make a deal with them as a club
and
approach the union and say, as a club, we have identified this place. This is where we shall be doing our test.
PCR test.
There are people who also work for the government and they are within the hockey fraternity. They can also speak with the government on behalf of other clubs and say, can we get this?
Even if it's at 500 bob.
Basically all I'm saying is, tuache kupigana. As in, sahi imefika point, vita itusaidii Njugush. Tuanze tu kujijenga. For how long will we fight? And as I said, hata tupige kelele aje, elections ni next year. So, ikifika hiyo time, tutadeal na hiyo story ya kutoa kama we are not happy with the leadership, utawatoa. But between now and then, hatuwezi kuwa tunapigana, time inasonga. Tunalia rugby lirudi nini. Wale wase, wewe tulikuwa na kwambo hapa. How many times ulisikia akisema sijui leadership sijui nini. Wao anasema sisi tulikaa chini na clubs, tukasema hivi na whether they are, where tunajua rugby venye kuna vita. But at the end of the day, the sport inafanya nini?
Has to move on.
Sisi sasa tumepiga siasa, the sport is not moving. The sport is not
moving.
So that's my last remark. Yeah.
Good stuff. And as Simon talked about, pushing each other, these mandazis are pushing me to eat them. So we're going to wind this show. Remember, we're coming to you live, excuse me, from SK Garden House. And if you're looking for a staycation, if you're looking for a place to just come and, relax and have lunch with your family and even your friends, this is the place that you need to be. And today we have some breakfast here, some mandazis.
Ama tufanye giveaway.
Talking of giveaway, very soon we are going to have an offer here.
Yeah, vouchers.
Yes, vouchers here. So stay tuned for that, for lunch.
As well as THR merchandise. We're working on it.
Yes.
We shall be giving them.
So good things are coming. Good things are coming.
But anyway, next week we take a break. But we might have a pre-recorded show.
Yes.
But we'll take a break next week.
Thank
you to everyone who makes a comment. Who hatuwapingi. We take your views.
Yes.
Naona Nthoma ananikasirikia. Nthoma usikasirike. I'm just giving my views. But thank you for the comments that come in. Thank you for your suggestions. I try as much as possible to forward them to relevant people as well. Thank you very much for participating in the show. And in case you have any correction, any criticism, get in touch with us.
My handles, Simon's handles,
you can inbox Kenya.
You can always inbox.
We always want to improve. We always want to bring you amazing content. And as you have seen, pia tunajaribu kupull in international, what will you call them? people in
people
to also contribute
because this
to the show.
conversation has to go on.
Yeah, it has
I
to.
like what Saddam said. As East Africa, we need to move in one direction. You want to read some few last comments?
Anasema siwezi kukukasirikia kaka, we are discussing. Asante sana nini Thoma, tutamwekea mandazi mbili hapa. Niambie mahali huko nikuletee. And then of course you have Kamal who's watching. Asante sana. We have Charles Wesonga who's watching. Thank you very much guys for watching. Anyway, time imeisha. Tutalipishwa extra.
Wacha sisi tukunywe chai.
Bye. And of course, thank you very much to our production team.